Hi, I'm Mark Naymik, and I'm joined today by our data analysis editor, Rich Exner, or for short, the Data Guru. We're going to talk about a new feature we hope to bring every once in a while called the Data Dig, or the numbers behind the news. Today we're going to talk about jobs, job numbers. We've been hearing a lot about them lately, thanks in part to U.S. Senator Rob Portman, who is going to face likely Democratic challenger Ted Strickland, a former governor of Ohio. And so we're hearing a lot about the jobs that were lost under Ted Strickland's tenure as governor. And I asked Rich to take a deep look, and he's going to talk a little bit about what we see with this.
Well, recently when there was a poll that came out that showed that Ted Strickland in the lead of Portman, Portman's campaign responded by saying they got enough money to remind voters about the 200,000 plus jobs that were lost while Strickland was governor.
Let's stop right there. 200,000 jobs lost. Let's dig in. So what do we know about those numbers?
That's a pretty accurate number. It's closer to 250,000 jobs were lost. But, you know, these are 10, 12-second sound bites and commercials. Sometimes there are other ways to look at it, and that's what we wanted to do, too.
All right, walk me through the larger picture.
Well, in Ohio, they did lose that many jobs at that point. But remember, the nation was losing jobs at that point, too. And since then, the recovery that began under Strickland, continued under Kasich, it's kind of tracking up, too. So, you know, the governor's office doesn't operate in an isolated spot. There's other ways to look at it. I'm not saying one place is right or wrong to look at it, but there's other ways to look at it.
Let me ask you for your opinion on this. If there was a Republican in office during that recession, do you think these job numbers would be largely the same?
I can't predict the economy, but the trend over time says that usually happens. Things go up and down as they do, you know, anywhere you look on this stuff. It's just one simple number sometimes misses part of the point.
All right, let's take a big step back and say that during both good times and bad times of the economy, how has Ohio done compared to the rest of the nation?
Well, one thing that has been consistently true in Ohio, and my guess is if I looked at other Midwestern states that were once manufacturing centers, Ohio consistently has trailed the nation in jobs. It hasn't kept up with the pace when they were increasing under George Voinovich, under Bob Taft, under Strickland.
Two Republicans there.
Two Republicans.
Strickland, a Democrat.
Same thing happened under Strickland, a Democrat. On the losses, they were worse than what they were nationally when the economy was going down. Now that the economy is going back up, they're improving in Ohio, but they're not improving at the pace that they are nationally. So, and even further back than these governors, it's happened for decades where Ohio's jobs have lagged the changes nationally.
All right, now I know you like history, and you tried to take a look back at U.S. presidents. So, did we create more jobs under Democratic or Republican presidencies?
Democrats, it's not even close. I went back as far as 1939 because that's how long the federal government has been collecting the job data the same way, so you can really compare it. And I started with Truman because he's the first president that took office since then. Since then, about twice as many jobs have been created with Democrats in the White House than Republicans, although they've occupied the White House almost the same amount of time, 34 years for Democrats and 36 years for Republicans.
Yeah, any reason why that is that way?
Well, that's where it gets deeper than a 30-second soundbite for a campaign commercial. And I really wanted to concentrate on the jobs, but when you look at just jobs, you're ignoring things such as, you know, what happened as you came into office. Was the economy already started up or down? Are the jobs better? Are people getting paid more? You're not looking at that. Are people working part-time, and we're counting that as a job the same as a full-time job? But in this case, I really wanted to look at the job number because that's what the political campaigns like to look at.
Yeah. Well, as someone who covered some previous state campaigns, both on the federal and in the gubernatorial race, we're going to hear a lot about them. Please check back at cleveland.com. Rich has his own page that'll dive into the numbers, and we'll try to get back and bring you another episode of Data Dig. Again, Mark Naymik.
And I'm Rich Exner. See you next time.